Hosta mefta cinco basta. Hosta mefta jure. Rishi labir groove snores ladil kor. Rishi labir usas nos dovre. Hosta mefta cinco basta. Hosta mefta jure. Rishi labir groove snores ladil kor. Rishi labir usas nos dovre.
Yazor, why Yazor, go, if not.
Oh yeah, live long and prosper, everyone. Wait, can you do it? Which hand are you meant to do it with?
I don't know.
Welcome everybody to our Star Trek Adventures game of the USS Noteworthy. My name's Philip, and I am Starfleet Command, and I'm wearing a Star Trek shirt that I bought. Now, I also actually have Star Trek cosplay now, which is kind of crazy. I bought a Star Trek, I bought a uniform, and I've now, and with Lauren's guidance, I painted part of it so that it's an Admiral's uniform. But yeah. I don't have it on today because these are casual games. Sometimes we could wear the costumes in casual games, but today is a casual game. But joining me is Dan. Hi, Dan.
My name is Dan, and I am wearing a Carly Rae Jepsen shirt from the concert I went to on Tuesday.
Wait, Carly Rae Jepsen?
Yeah, Carly Rae Jepsen's Malort.
Carly Rae Jermscorps? Carly Rae Jaspers?
Carly Ray Star Command. Come in, Star Command.
My brother was once wearing a shirt with Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell on it, and my aunt said, "Who is that? Is that Carly Rae Jepsen?" And I really, really liked that at the time, and still to this day. I'm gonna do a preview of my cosplay. Just I'll show you.
Oh yeah.
Hanger.
Oh yeah. We want Philip to show us the goods.
I've seen it.
It's a pretty fun. It's a pretty fun Admiral's. This is it's a lower decks Admiral. I painstakingly recreated what I saw in a drawing of it when I did a Google image search.
Look, Philip's not like the other Admiral. He's a cool Admiral.
Listen, I'm just kind of a laid back.
If you're gonna disobey Starfleet regulations, he wants you to do it inside the ship.
That was very good. You know what? That was really, really good. I understand what you say, apostrophe this, about the... Well, they have... A lot of the Admiral's uniforms will have epaulets on them, the earlier ones. Then after... In the Deep Space Nine era, it's just the gray top nonsense. I like the look, but it's kind of like whatever, you know? Come on, guys. This is one of our fun, noteworthy games. But because it is the month of October, I do have some business to do first. Oh,
wait, do 13s count?
No. Well, not today. That's only because it was Friday. Got to get done on Friday. Is that Carly Rae Jepsen? It's Friday.
Rebecca
Gotta
Black.
get down on Friday.
That Rebecca Black's Friday did come out around the same time as Carly Rae Jepsen's Call Me Maybe, and so because Friday was obviously such a dumb meme song, I was like, oh, Call Me Maybe is also maybe a dumb meme song. And so there was like 5 years where I didn't pay attention to Carly Rae Jepsen, and in the interim she had put out some really good pop music. But yeah, Rebecca Black is still like doing shit apparently.
You know what? Good for everyone except bad people. So I'm gonna open up this calendar now. Currently it is October 20th. Right now I have opened 10 of the dice windows. There's 31 total. By the 25th, which is next Tuesday, if my math is correct.
You got 7 left.
I want to be there. If I have to draw 2 on that date, fine. So basically, between today, tomorrow, and Sunday, we need to draw like 13 or 14. I'm gonna do 4 today. How's that sound? So, this is real fun programming. Oh my god, my desk will never be big enough. No matter how big my desk is, it will never be big enough. Let's open 11. What's inside 11? Ooh, it's a D.
I mean, Philip, maybe that's something that you should examine in therapy, you know? Like, why? What's wrong with the desk size?
It's not the
maybe
desk,
you should find the right desk size inside yourself.
It's how much I'm putting on it. Here's a D8 with a little cauldron. Boom. 12. You know, one thing that's fun about this is they don't put them in order, so it's like hard to find the numbers you're after. But here's 12 right here. 12 is in 1, 2. So I'll just do this. We open, and within, can you guys see it before I do? Ooh, looks like a D6. This is the high quality programming we're all looking for here. Ooh, that's actually a pretty cool one though, and I like because the size of it. This is a spider D6.
Ooh.
Kind of a dark red with black. Their D6s are big. Their D6s are sizable in kind of a fun way. Ooh, lucky number 13. Here we go.
Lucky number 11.
Lucky. Oh my god. Lucky number 11 is actually a movie that exists. Thank you for reminding me of it. We have another D4. This one is a bubbling cauldron D4. Which is fun. They have a cool design. I probably haven't shown this in a while. This company, Black Oak Workshop, they do this cool design where 3 of the faces are kind of the image all pointing up, and then the other face is 1, 2, and 3. So whichever one of these is up, that's that number, unless all of these are up, and then it's a 4. It's kind of it's a more fun way to see it, I would say. That's 13. What comes after 13?
A Dreadstorm.
A Dreadstorm in Dead Storm. Genuinely can't find 14. Just kidding. There it is right here. So we shall open up 14. Ooh, this one we can get a little peek inside. Anybody?
Oh, a little hidey hole.
Ooh, it
Well,
looks
that'd
like another D10 of some kind, right? Yeah. Ooh, it's a D percentile, in fact.
Ooh, okay.
Never don't like having those. I believe this is another of our spider. Yep, along came a spider on the D10. This spider one is very hard to see because it's kind of so dark, but like in person, these look really cool. So there you go. So we have just a handful of these fun, creepy dice. Ooh, happy Halloween. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Very excited for everything that this game has to bring for us, both today and in the future.
Anyway, now that Philip's gone, we can really have fun. Oh, shit, he's here.
Amen. That's my philosophy.
It'd be a lot more fun if we actually couldn't hear, and then we could actually, like, say really obscene and inappropriate things.
Man, if you do that, though, the channel's gonna get banned.
I just say things regardless of whether or not you can
Well,
hear
our viewership is primarily extremely, like, I don't mean politically conservative, but most people who watch this are very just like very like reserved, prudish, conservative.
They're socially conservative but fiscally liberal.
Oh, that's such an uncommon one.
I know, right?
When you find it, you hold on to it. Damn it.
Like, imagine someone who's like, I don't support gay marriage, but we should have a UBI.
Yeah, that's a
like, who is that person?
That's I mean, here's the thing, and I hate to ever give like power to, whatever, but in a more perfect world that had less bigotry and tolerance, it would be amazing to see people of all sort of backgrounds, demographics, beliefs, be able to have terrible views. Because the other people who have those terrible views didn't intrinsically hate them, That's the future I want.
Where everyone can be stupid and bad.
Yes, where everyone can have fun jokes. Okay, so, now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about Star Trek. So yeah, we've got, this has been a lot of fun here on these games. Dan, you were with us for our very first of the mini episodes, which was basically a full episode on account of I had you and Lauren on it. Now this time, though I have both of you, we have done something that's a little different.
Okay.
And the way that I sort of set myself up for success on these, but we then had problems with this. I'm gonna have to go back and we're gonna have to do this thing. We're doing 2 games today. We are getting through 2 episodes. And by saying there's going to be 2 episodes, it means we really cannot dawdle in either one. And I don't mean we can't dawdle and take time. It's just we're not going to be role-playing the whole thing. There will be entire acts that are literally a sentence.
What are you doing? Yeah.
Where we say, through this act, this thing continues. So, and I also think Lauren, who we're so glad is here, will probably not be the most involved.
That is correct. Until approximately 4 p.m.
Until later.
For undisclosed reasons.
We don't.
What are those reasons? Ooh, yeah.
Why would you say?
No.
Why would you say that? You didn't even. That wasn't.
That's true.
You didn't have to bring up the idea of it's a mystery.
That is true.
Now it's a mystery. I want to solve it.
So, with all of that in mind, we will talk a little bit about, because I think there might be a degree of previously on for this most recent. Are we doing minor cosplay?
I mean, I had these ears right here as well.
I can.
Yeah, go put your spots on real quick.
Oh God. Well, actually, I could, but
if I do, I could do
not.
I could do that,
Well, if you want to wait 30 minutes, I can jog some super glue over to your apartment.
Nah.
The spots actually don't take long for me.
Well, good for you.
They only take if I'm only doing here, it's 10 minutes max.
If I try to put
if I'm being careful, even.
On my collar.
I might do them real quick at some point just to see.
Let's talk Oh yes, James. Yes, that is. That was the Warazite Avatar episode. They had to have Yahoo somewhere else. That is effectively. That was effectively what that happened. Yes,
Is
that was
having Yahoo the same thing as making Whoopi?
kind of, but they did it. It was a different. They were not physical beings, so they were not. It was a non-sexual reproduction. It was a different matter.
Oh, talk about a DM self-insert.
You know, my whole thing. God, you guys don't even understand. Non-sexual reproduction is so crazy. If you don't even understand how weird things get when you don't have a physical. The answer is
Anyway.
just boring. So anyway, yeah. So in our last episode, we did have a pretty major change in that the Noteworthy, the crew of the Noteworthy have transferred to a new vessel. So this episode, kind of like, we'll say the B story of this episode, is going to be a lot of scenes that we probably just won't role play or will ask about a little bit more, lightly, that are just about how everyone's like adjusting to being aboard this sort of like, massive sort of cruise ship of a starliner. Look, warp nacelles, they're almost right. They make Playmobil Legos, and I think there were some Lego Playmobil and Mega Bloks have made Star Trek stuff, but Lego never has, so I kind of had to just go weird with this. The major events last time is that some aliens who we did first encounter in The Unseen, Lieutenant Commander Senek, your episode, sort of appeared and used sort of strange beams to sort of throw ships around and cause all sorts of trouble. And that destroyed the brand new Talleyrand class vessel as well as the old Noteworthy. Casualties were relatively minor because you were in sort of a system surrounded by other Federation ships. Captain Grace Maxwell was able to she was able to sort of chase that ship off, or she was at least able to avoid some of its stuff because of clever science nonsense we didn't really get into. The point being, she has now been promoted. Your previous Captain Winters, Captain Winter he's basically riding a desk at Starfleet Command. Grace Maxwell, who was upset that she was going off on a survey mission, she has now been promoted to remain with the Noteworthy crew aboard the second Talleyrand vessel, which actually has had a bit of a redesign between the Talleyrand featured in the last one and this new one. It's a little sleeker. It's got a deflector dish on the front. Everyone leave me alone. So she has now sort of, taken command. There is a new there's a new first officer as well. A gentleman named I have it.
Named Jason Statham.
Yeah, named Jason Statham, named Idris Elba. Whitney is his name.
Right, yeah.
Commander Whitney, he is not a joke. He is Lucian Whitney. I rolled him up and hey, I have a word to people fighting him. Don't let him have a phaser rifle, is my suggestion. If you're ever fighting with Whitney, step one is do not let him have a phaser rifle.
But if you're ever in the slog with him,
you should say
give him a phaser rifle.
Yeah, he has a few between his focus and a few of his talents. He's good at those. He's good at those. He can reroll all his dice every time. It's stupid. So that is kind of where we begin. And today's episode is going to be sort of a Senek episode. So though there will be a few, you're making yourself invisible.
Yeah, I'll still be here, but
I understand.
Invisible.
As we go to the Senek episode here, this is an episode, I guess I'll reveal the title in our normal sequence of things, but Where do you think? So here's the new ship. This vessel, unlike your previous one, it is a massive ship. It's not as like wide as the Galaxy class, like the Enterprise D, but it's certainly a little longer. This is the bridge of the ship. This is the sort of like kind of like fancy sort of hotel amenities.
The convention center.
Yes, it literally is the convention center. Now this ship, I think, is taking a slightly less hospitality forward element. A few of the features are, though, there actually is a museum on the ship, like priceless, materials are contained from the history of Starfleet, and artwork. There is a huge amount of in-room holosuite functionality. They're beginning to move to this stuff, as well as some larger holo bays. It's a very it's a really cool sort of ship to sort of get to serve on. So I will say that here, as you guys are kind of embarking on your first mission or an early mission, if it is not literally the first one. This ship also has a deluxe galley, so there's literally benefits to how good the food is aboard the vessel. And this is also I guess I should sort of show you this as an option for where you might want to start. This is your new kind of runabout sized diplomatic shuttle. When it goes to warp, it goes to this, and then these.
Ooh.
That's the thing. And so you have two of them, of the footnote and the endnote. So you certainly are going to be the primary pilot for these, but that's for when there's major dignitaries you're sort of taking on a tour somewhere crazier. So you have crazy holo suites. You have the deluxe galley. Full Impulse has been restored as another bar. So there's, there's room for multiple bars on a place like this. So you can go to Full Impulse. There's holo suites, in-room stuff. The last thing I'll mention is that this ship has basically a holographic support crew. And based on what Grace thought it was important to deal with and not, the support crew is the hospitality side of things. So she is not asking, Starfleet officers to sort of engage in some of these functions that are a little more,
Yeah.
Because the ship's half of this is also just explaining the game rules and works and stuff. Because the ship's computers are so strong, there are 6 there are more emergency holograms who could pop up for stuff, but there are literally 6 holograms who I was instructed to build as full-on supporting characters. They are the chef, the museum curator, the sort of concierge for the convention center, a bellhop who has a special feature that the bellhop can appear in multiple places at once. There is a sort of events coordinator and a masseuse. And have I talked to you about these supporting characters yet? I think I mentioned them to some.
Yes, I have.
So they are also just as a I don't know. Grace thought it was an interesting idea. They are all goblins.
Fascinating.
So that Grim now has a bunch of holographic goblins who have continuing personalities and will pop in and out of service aboard the ship that he's kind of always dealing with. So, with all of these things in mind, I can throw one out, or we can just roll on it. We can just do a heads, tails, whatever. But where would you like to start this episode that is going to be a somewhat scenic-based thing involving one of your first voyages?
Is it supposed to involve one of the holograms, or just anywhere?
Anywhere. If you want to be meeting a hologram, there will be plenty of B story, and that we're in no rush to reveal stuff. So it's just however you want to start it, wherever you want to be, or I can just say a place.
I am learning the human game, War, the card game War.
Okay.
It is. I believe that I'm trying to read too much into the strategy of this game, and I'm trying to find hidden subtext. But
Perfect. Oh, this is so great. So we will say, you are, let's say you're in the new full impulse,
Yeah.
and you are confused by the game.
It cannot. It is illogical that the game is this simple and random. There's no. This is simply a game of chance.
And we will say that you are playing against who are some humans. We'll say that you're playing against Dobbs and Giles because they're, you know,
Yeah.
when in doubt. We'll throw Dr. Tata in there. So basically, yes, the opening game is basically the opening thing is you're just sort of saying like there's no, like, unlike other games of chance, there's no strategy, there's no
Right.
logic, there's no advantage. Their response is that it's because the game's fun, because it's a drama and stakes and sort of stuff. But there sort of is this element where you're sort of claiming that the game, you don't see the point of war. You don't see the point of a thing where there's just nothing to do but see what happens. There's no, I'll move my chips on this or ooh, I'm
Right.
gonna-"
Yeah. No fluffing. No.
No
Yeah,
fluffing. No. Yeah.
Definitely no fluffing in war.
Nevertheless, I would like for you to roll. Actually, roll a. We're gonna play war right now. Ordinarily, I would say this. I would do this as a talent thing, but roll a d20. Whoever's higher wins.
Right.
Because
Rollies, baby. That's a 6.
I've rolled a 12, so you lose.
Yes.
And as like they're all sort of like high-fiving and whatever, you're just kind of like, this is sort of completely illogical. At this point, you are summoned to go to the shuttle bay because you're going to be picking up some visitors to the ship
Sweet. I'll go.
who are down on a planet. Wait, really? This one's, well, whatever. It'll be if they're on a reddish planet. I don't care. So then it's like so as you're heading down,
That's special effects budget, folks. That's the kind of special effects you can expect to buy with your subscription money.
you're heading out to the planet because you're picking up some people for a conference. But I'm sure there have been variations on this done before. Effectively, you realize that the colonists you're picking up in your vessel seem to be Vulcans, but they are unlike any Vulcans you've ever seen before. They're like wearing various like weird like beads and like, you know, kind of like just much more like loose and kind of crazy clothing. They're having weird arguments. A couple of them are even crying as you're picking them up, and others are laughing.
I mean, do I know any, like, have I been briefed on, like, this situation? Like, do I know anything about them or what's going on?
You know that you are picking up a group called the Taxim, but tell you what, let's have you do a difficulty 0, insight and medicine.
Will this go under diplomacy or just
No, I think this is just stuff. Yeah.
That is an 8 and an 11, so 2 successes.
2 successes. So in that case, we will add. Oh my god, I haven't even set this up. This is kind of, there's nothing to do with this, but that was literally to put some in the pot. So you have 2 momentum.
Great.
There you go. With that, you're aware of the Taxim. You were told that it was a group of Vulcans, and you were told that they sort of did not walk the path of logic. You were told that they embraced a more sort of emotional, sort of existence. But seeing them, as kind of crazy and as jarring as it is, and like one of them comes and just like hugs you really crazily and is like, "It's so good to meet you, man, far out, you know, peace and love." That is where we go to our opening credit sequence. We're not going to do the full one on these things, but Starring blah blah blahs blah blah blah. Okay. Point being, it's the casual episodes we're hitting skip on skip intro, which means act break. And we're back break. We now reveal that this episode's title is highly illogical, which we also revealed in our Instagram post. So, as you venture here to these individuals, we'll sort of say that you get them aboard the ship, but clearly I think you kind of can sort of see what the shape of this episode's going to be. You are dealing with a bunch of sort of like a Vulcan colony who had separated a while ago, and they have embraced a path of emotion rather than viewing things through cold logic. Part of their reasoning, they will explain to you, as I'm sure Senek will ask, is that they think that too many societies, when you're coldly logical, begin to harm other people because they're sort of claiming the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, etc., etc. But in so often, that's just an excuse for people to do harmful things. You know. In particular, we'll do the thing where one of them is sort of slightly more, prominent than the others. It will be a man. So we'll just do a quick Vulcan name generator. But in any case, it soon becomes apparent to you. His name is Soral.
Okay, Soral.
It also appears that probably these Vulcans do have a fair bit of intermingling with humans, so like they are not as pure Vulcan as like most Vulcans are. So that may affect stuff, but it seems that they are here for a sort of a conference about some mining rights that they don't want to give up because they sort of just want the planet that they're dealing with on Taxim. Taxim 5. They're on Taxim 5. They don't want the planet messed with. And over the course of this sort of setup, you begin to realize that there is no logical reason not to let the people do the mining here. It won't affect all science says it won't affect the ecosystem. It's not even in the area they're looking for. They just don't want to allow it. They're just kind of in like a peace and love, like let the earth be sort of vibe. We'll do a quick role play scene after you've sort of learned this stuff. But we're gonna say you're gonna speak with the captain. So she'll kind of call you to her ready room, and she'll be saying, "This ship is kind of a bit hard to get used to, don't you think?"
Yes, it is quite different than a ship outfitted for more aggressive maneuvering.
Certainly, or just for I mean,
maneuvering.
Any maneuvering. Yes. Well, it makes up for it in its sort of computer power and its overall engine capacity.
It does travel in a straight line quite nicely.
Indeed. And for the most part, that's all we hope to be dealing with in a vessel like this. Mr. Senek, I just wanted to ask you if you have any insight into Sorrel and the others from Taxim 5. If you think that I am perfectly happy to go and speak to them. I'm just wondering if you think that you being a Vulcan, is this something you want to talk to them about? Is this something you think they'd be more receptive to, less receptive to?
I mean, can I make some kind of like insight check to see?
Absolutely. You've spent some time dealing with them. We will say that this would be insight.
And command?
Pitch me. How is it command? Because I was going to go to security or science probably, but you can pitch me on command.
part of command is like assessing like how people respond and how different people operate and trying to figure out how to, push buttons and get the most out of people.
I'll allow it. So it will be insight and command. That's 13. Do you want to use any of these?
No.
All right.
That's a 4 and an 18, so 2 successes on the 4. That's my command 4.
Your command is 4, but I don't think this was using any of your focuses.
Oh, it's only when you're using a focus? Okay.
Only when you're using a focus, correct. So, but that is...
Could be diplomacy related.
I don't... You know what? I'll give that to you. This is diplomacy related, so that we'll put 1 in the tank, and that was a difficulty 1. So, with kind of a... thinking about them, I think that you realize that the only logical thing to do, as much as it pains you, is to try to demonstrate your ability to be illogical. Is to connect with them by showing them that if you can be a little illogical, maybe they can be a little logical. And I'll even tee this up just because it's how things work in a TV show.
Yeah.
You did learn in the teaser
I challenged him to
show,
play war, yeah.
Smash cut to playing war. Deal.
I promise everyone watching, Philip did not tell me anything about that. The war thing was random.
Yep. So we have you playing war. So we now cut to full impulse. This is still Act 1. It's fine. We'll cut to full impulse. You are playing with Sorrel and the others. Let's do another rollies. Let's do another just straight up. It's literally what war is.
10.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
We're actually doing war right now. I rolled a 10 too.
Oh,
so
okay.
now we both roll
again.
I guess it's just again. I want us to roll 3 times as like the cards you put face down. But yeah, no.
Wait, so then do we just roll with advantage now?
Yeah, roll with advantage. That's fun. No, not advantage. Add them together.
Okay, well it's a 9 and 11, so it's a 20.
All right. I've rolled an 11 and a 4. So, Seneca beats Sorrel. So Sorrel and the others, they're kind of hooting and hollering. Tata is connecting to them. Is enjoying it. I'll say that, God, do any of those goblins make sense to be in this scene? We'll say the coordinator is here as well.
Okay.
Her name is Kishia. She is here. She's a goblin. She's in like a little suit. Has a data pad with her at all times. But coordinator Kishia watches. She's kind of just like, ooh, I wonder if this is maybe this is an activity that we should organize tournaments around on the ship and everything. Blah blah blah. But you've beaten Sorrel, demonstrating your enjoyment of or your willingness to do this illogical game. But do you think in doing so, does Seneca enjoy that he won this game? Does Seneca enjoy that he just did that?
Seneca admits to an appreciation of the higher stakes of drama that happened once the tie happened and the
okay.
Yeah.
Because there was a tie, Seneca admits there was heightened drama. I love that. Okay, so I will say that Sorrel appreciates that you're sort of like doing this, but at the same time there's like a lack of connection. So Sorrel will say, Sorrel will propose that you join them for dancing.
This seems to be part of my diplomatic mission, so I shall agree.
Understood. So, as you begin your sort of dancing shenanigans, I want you to roll. We're going to call this control and command. But the difficulty of this will be 2. So it's a 15 difficulty 2. You have 3 momentum if you'd like to use any, or you can just go for it.
I'm just going for it.
All right.
Just gonna raw dog this one. 11 and 12.
All right. So Senek, you begin dancing with them. Ooh, I'm gonna do a retcon setup thing just so this is like a whatever thing.
Yeah.
One of the things they talk about are the they don't want to disturb the prancing schlobiels. That's the name of the animal I just came up with based on a roll on my dice. They don't want to disturb the prancing schlobiels of Taxum 5. That's like they like these kind of sort of weird hopping deer-like creatures. As you're dancing, trying to like kind of like, I don't know how into the dance you're getting, but they're being like super loosey-goosey into it kind of stuff. You begin to get weird images of these dancing creatures through like their weird their Vulcan telepathic stuff, but you manage to like not like indulge in it. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna use a little bit of my threat right now to end on like a whatever beat. But the thing is, in so doing, you do like back away, and I don't know how into the dancing was Senek even getting.
Moderately.
So we'll say
I haven't undergone like the ritual to purge emotion, so it's not like I've completely like separated like that. But
yeah. So you're kind of moderately dancing with them, but there's certainly a degree of like you're holding something back. You see that, and we'll actually say that seeing that and realizing that like there's some weird, like you're not getting pulled into it. You have the stuff. We'll say that you step back, but that does have them like Sorrel's like, I guess I was right that Vulcans can't, that you don't understand. And with that, we'll do an act break. And we're back. So, as Act 2 begins, I think that you've sort of like, you've kind of moved away from that. We'll say there's a couple scenes of B-story stuff about Tata dealing with... No, I have some other stuff for Tata to do later. So I'll say it's Giles and Dobbs dealing with Kishia, asking them for ideas for events, and their suggestions are bad. I'm gonna put in question mark. Giles suggests speed dating. In any event, so Senek, however, we will say that we're gonna have another scene with you and the captain, where she kind of just, kind of is basically saying like they seem really upset. They're threatening to leave. They're saying that you've proven to them that like logic doesn't, that logic can't work. So I guess she's like, should I pull you from this, or are you gonna redouble your efforts to try to convince them to participate in these talks?
Well, it would be logical to... Logic dictates that if one tack is not working, then one tries another. So, in this situation, perhaps we should go against logic, and I should keep throwing myself at this figurative wall until it comes crumbling down, Captain.
She'll say, very good, Mr. Senek, I appreciate that, because one thing I didn't quite realize about having a ship of this size, there are multiple conferences going on at once. So I can't even, I'm not even going to take part in them. I'm going to be assigning some of them to different members of the crew. Good luck. So with that, you will redouble your efforts. We'll say that they are in. We will say that they are in the museum, grooving to the artwork, probably trying to touch too much of it. As the curator Zatuir, as he's just like, please don't. Oh my goodness gracious! Oh no. But Shenanigans are in the museum trying to touch artwork. As Zatuir shakes his head. So you can go to them. What's your plan? What's your approach here?
I would say I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have a logic. Well, I'm not going to have a plan. I'm just going to free ball it.
Okay, perfect. Then all right, so you see, perfect. I have it then. Great. You see that they are here. They're like getting like too close to the artwork and such. This will be a little hard for you. I think, God, there's no discipline this should be, because it's almost like you're trying to not have command, you know.
I will attempt to lick a sculpture.
Yeah, make a daring command roll. That's fine. Difficulty for you, I'll tell you what, difficulty will remain 1, but we're going to add the complication range is going to increase from 18 or higher will be a complication.
Okay, I will use a spend a momentum to give myself an extra die.
1 momentum spent.
Ooh, boy. Oh, boy. 14, 19, 19. So
14, 19, 19.
So of those, like, 1 complication and no successes.
2 complications, right?
Well, I thought only there are only 2 dice count, right?
No, they all count.
They all count? Oh, 2 complications then, yeah.
Okay. We're going to do... So you attempt to lick a painting. Here's what's going to happen. There's going to be 2...
I was going for a sculpture.
A sculpture.
Or, yeah, some kind of statue.
Okay, so as Zatuir is trying to stop this, 2 complications will emerge. So that was no successes at all, right?
Nope.
Okay, so we will say that your I'm not going to say that you don't lick the sculpture. Obviously, you go on to lick the sculpture, but your attempt to show them that you're sort of grooving to the same thing as them. 1, you lick a sculpture that is actually extremely toxic. So you are poisoned by the sculpture you lick. So you'll be going to the med bay.
Mm-hmm.
And also, this triggers a full security alert. So, like, Zatuir is like, hey, please stop touching that, sir. There's so much. At this point, though, like Grim is like running in from a Jeffries tube, like, what's the emergency? And basically, Grim now has to round up all the hippies, including you.
Yeah.
So this ends with you being arrested, but you're going to be sent to the med bay because you're freaking out. So they're all sent to the brig, you're being sent to the med bay. So you've caused the hippies to get captured by the jackbooted stormtrooper known as Grim the Goblin. All right, that is an act break if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
Act 3 will begin with Senec awakening in sickbay. Tata has treated you no problem. He'll be fine in a few hours. She'll ask you what you were thinking.
I was attempting to not think and simply do.
I think Tata will draw her cutlass, pop the lid off of one of her I'm not sure if you guys could tell that she was getting equipment to like just brew tons of grog. So she cuts the thing off. She'll drink some grog and say, "Leave that to the professionals." Cut list to cut lid off grog. Drinks says leave to professionals. But she'll say, so technically, Grim says by the standards that you're supposed to be in the brig with the rest of the art vandals.
That is correct.
You're not going to the brig, relax. But they are actually still sort of they I think they're in there. We didn't want to. It's a. I don't know. You might want to go talk to them.
Yeah, once I'm like able to walk, I'll go.
Okay. Okay, we'll now say that meanwhile, in our B story, Kishia is sick of getting activated by Dobbs and or Giles to suggest dumb ideas. Maybe, yeah. Perfect. Okay, Senek. They are in the midst of I'll actually roll for their state, but one to thing. They're all in a very subdued, kind of relaxed mood. Sorrel's like, we don't like being in captivity. This is not a good sign. I can't imagine we're going to support any deal with people who lock us up.
I'll just apologize. Just say I was just trying to let go of inhibitions. And then yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't have the authority to be like, I don't have the authority to be like, you're free to go, do I?
You sort of do. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, then I'll
you're lieutenant.
Yeah.
You're a commander. They call you commander, so you can have them released.
Yeah, you're free to go. I'm sorry.
Thanks, man. But I mean, look at what being uptight gets you. You try to relax and do something so dangerous. It's like you gotta follow what your heart is. Here, we're gonna go. I don't know. I think we just want to go back to the planet. You want to come down with us? Understand what's so great about it?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Down to the planet to see why it's so great. So we'll say that I want to end this act on a bit of a bum 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 moment. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fun. We'll say that you take them down to the planet, only to realize the miners have moved in to start while they've been away. So as you sort of, as you're there's whatever. The point being, they're trying to do the mining already. That's terrible. How terrible? Act break terrible. Act 4. So, we're closing in now on our denouement. We're closing in on our climax, then our, final action and denouement follows. So, you see that the miners are doing this. Now, you are in a pretty darn, you're in a pretty good kind of ship here. They're, let's see, Sorrel's oh my god, beam us down, we can chain ourselves to the mountain. And another one's like, use your phasers, take him out, man. What are you going to do?
Okay, what is is it the Starfleet mining operation?
It is not Starfleet. It is by a third party who I haven't thought of yet. Bolians.
All right. What is the mining operation currently looking like?
It's just a couple of ships, just like hovering, you know, or I guess a couple of ships have landed and they're just unloading various equipment and like doing a full survey.
Again, like, what's like the terrain situation like where they're at?
Based on this, we'll say that it's dry, mountainous. So like hills, like it's not like crazy peaks. You know, think, I don't know. Sun Valley? I don't know. It's just kind of hot, hot, arid.
Like in Idaho or like?
Not here in like,
okay,
you know, in like north of Burbank.
Okay,
north of the Burbank foothills. Yeah.
I'll set the ship down immediately uphill from them.
Okay.
And
okay, the Taxim are rushing out, and they're sort of trying to get into, you know.
I'm gonna go
into some stuff.
I'm gonna figure out who's leading the operation and just try and pull rank and order them off.
Okay. You do. We'll say that there is a Bolian man kind of like in charge who's like, hey, look, but your Taxim friends are rushing up and some of them are getting physical. Some of them are laying on the ground making like dust angels to be like, you can't mine through me, man. But some of them are like trying to like wrestle like equipment out of the people's hands. The main.
I'm gonna try to break up any like physical conflict stuff.
Okay, cool. In that case, I need you to make a daring security.
Okay, I'll use some momentum here.
You can use Ooh, if you want to, you can give yourself. This is only a difficulty 1, but if you want 1, boom, now you roll 3 times. But
one.
Just 1. All right, let's try it. Complications only on a 20. Everything's normal.
4, 14, 14. So 1 success.
1 success. Great. So Senec manages to stop the other Vulcans from getting physical or violent. The Bolian, however, says, listen, we were having this little conversation as a courtesy because they agreed to it, but we're literally we're beaming stuff out from under this mountain. He's showing you all the geological surveys say no harm will come. We're behind schedule. We have the rights to this planet. We were trying to be nice, but apparently they were up on your ship tearing up your museum and then they got locked up. So we took that as a sign.
Okay, what are the the rule, like, what's the agreement? How does this work? Like, well, how did they get access? How did these people get access to the planet? Like, because the weird Vulcans have lived, the hippie Vulcans have lived here for a while, right?
You know what? I'm gonna spend some threat to say that the hippie Vulcans came here and just lived here, whereas the Bolian miners had the sort of like more like mining rights to the area. So, like, in terms of like legal Federation law, the Bolians have the right to this place. But the Vulcans have been here a while, they claim it's their home, etc., etc.
I mean, truly, Senec is struggling to be like, to see like why, like, yeah.
No, it's good. It's real good.
Internally, Senec doesn't. Yeah.
You have the value logic dictates. You have the value.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and internally, Senec doesn't give a shit. Like, if it's not going to harm the planet at all,
yeah,
it's not going to change.
And I'll tell you what, Senec. This will also be, this will be a difficulty 2 because this is not. Let me confirm. Yeah, sadly, this is like geological physics, not metaphysics.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm gonna say this will be a reason science. Why don't you go ahead and analyze their findings?
All
Make
right.
a reason science roll, difficulty 1.
4 and 17. So
one success. So with that, you manage to determine that they're right. They are beaming stuff out from so low that it's not going to like affect the planet at all. They just need to be here running their machines for a while. But it's not going to have any impact on like tectonics, local stuff. Everything seems totally fine.
I mean,
Oh, I like this because it's a genuinely Zedek's like he's being challenged.
yeah. I mean, like it's like I'm not gonna go and like I'm not gonna tell these Vulcans to just like fuck off, right? But like, like
While you think of this,
I'll tell you what I'll do.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Well, I was looking like just be like, pause the mining operation for like a little bit longer. To show that I'm on their page, I will invite some of them to train in the Batleth with me.
The other Vulcans.
Yes.
So you're gonna try to convince these guys to pause it. They'll be like, we'll give you 6 hours. That's all we can wait. But then we're mining no matter what.
All right. Just to show them that I'm doing something illogical, right? It's not of my like. It's the last weird thing I have where it's like, oh, like this is an attachment I have. This is like a thing I have.
Understood. Showing his emotional attachment for his friend. I love that. Okay, in the meantime, in the B story,
Giles is trying to run his own speed dating thing now. And no one shows up.
It's just nothing but dudes. Of the guests, it will say that Kishia shuts him down.
Yeah.
But it was all for a friend, so it's kind of more okay. So, with that, for the final time this episode, act break. We're back for part 5. Okay, so, Senek, you're going to train them in the Batleth. Now, in this case, this will be a little harder for you, but it is Batleth based, so it's going to be this. I do need you to do... I'm gonna actually have you do a presence and security roll for your Batleth skills.
Oh boy, I will spend a momentum here.
Okay, you have one last momentum to spend.
Yes.
And then if you ever want to get more, you'll just add more to the threat. You'll give me more threat back.
Yeah.
Because I've kind of spent a lot of threat, so I don't really have threat left here.
Good.
But go ahead and so roll 3 of those.
Jesus Christ, no successes. 12, 14, 18.
All right.
I'm rolling so good today, and by so good I mean so bad.
So high. So Senek tries to train them in the Batleth, speaking about his friend. What we're gonna say is that just to explain this sort of failure is your sort of presence, you're staying too emotional, you know, in the doing of it.
Yeah.
Or he stays too unemotional. He stays too
right.
A bit too reserved and logical. Here's what I'm gonna do for fun. Usually this is supposed to be the player's choice. I'm putting 2 in there because I'm buying some threat now, which I'm using to say that because basically what you've done is you've replicated swords for them, tried to teach them to use it in the hot heat as they're getting mad, so they're not going to attack the Bullions with the weaponry. What will you do, Senek? Logic dictates that you could, simply sort of stun them or call in support from Starfleet. But typically logical attempts don't work, neither do illogical attempts. So how do you want to try to stop the 3 or 4 running with batlets?
The simplest solution is the most effective, and going to like using anything else that is not currently on me would be a challenge. So I'm just going to yell at them angrily.
You're just gonna yell at them angrily.
I'm gonna angrily yell at them to stop and tell them to stop whatever the fuck they're doing.
This would be a presence command.
Right.
So yeah, go ahead.
I'll use one, yeah.
One of these. Okay, cool.
8 and 11 and 12, so 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. We will say I'm sort of rolling, kind of like you're succeeding at this. I'm just kind of rolling some like contested things because that's how this there is. Right. I've learned how combat works in the game. The point being, because one of them has rolled very low, we're just gonna say that's Sorrel. So Sorrel does not listen, and he continues going with the batleth. So you've managed to you basically showed anger. Then
I'm gonna run and I'm gonna try and fight a batleth.
Yeah. Do a batleth fight. But Sorrel continues. So Senek battles against him with a batleth. Are you going to do these non-lethal?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then in that case, go ahead and roll. I believe for a batleth attack, hold on. I'm actually let me look it up for exactly how making an attack, because it's different for different it's daring plus security.
Oh boy.
But you do get the whatever stuff. You also have 1 momentum left.
I'll spend that last momentum, yeah.
Perfect. And it's difficulty 1, and they're trying to go at difficulty 1, whoever kind of, does the best. However, this person's daring is high, their security's not, and they don't have a focus.
Well, that's a 4, a 12, and a 15, so that's 1 success.
1 success. All right. They have 1 success as well, but you, because you succeeded and they did not beat you, it's actually akin to like the Call of Cthulhu style rules. You do manage to disarm him.
Right.
And showing your unbridled, we'll also say just for the whatever, you kind of go very Klingon with it. Manages to disarm him. At which point Sorrel agrees. He's seeing your fury and your emotion, so he will back off at that point. And say, whatever, I guess if it doesn't hurt the mines, it won't hurt the whatever. And with that, the Bolians are able to mine. To mine with the blessings of the hippie Vulcans. Then there'll be an end button of, I don't know, maybe you go back to the ship and ask if anybody wants a game of war, and Kishi will tell you it's been banned. To play war, Kishia says it's been banned. Great. That's an episode.
Right, done.
Way to go. All right, so that's an episode done. I guess we'll do end. I'm gonna do one last act break. Okay, so that's like a post episode thing. It would have been cool if it had been gone and then you were back then. Apologies. No, we're back already.
No,
it's fine.
You come back. Just come back.
Baby, come back. So perfect. Way to go. Fun times. That was awesome. Okay, I'm actually gonna do something, and I think all of you should have gotten these at earlier points, but I'm kind of just gonna sort of start these now. because of this, you're actually going to get to advance, to develop your character.
Ooh.
So, you have I'm gaining you a so mark somewhere on your sheet that you are getting I'm actually not going to be doing normal milestones. I'm only doing spotlight milestones. So, you are getting a spotlight milestone. You receive the following benefits. First of all, you can do one of the following. You can choose one. You can decrease one discipline and increase another discipline, but you can't take anything below 1 or above 4.
Mm-hmm.
You could swap out a focus. So in other words, if there's a focus you've never used, you can give yourself a new focus. Mm-hmm. Or you could give this milestone to a supporting character. In this case, I guess it would be
the concierge goblin.
Probably Kishia. They're not supposed to get them, but I might give them anyway because they're special holograms. And you can also think about this. But then because it's a spotlight, you can also so you choose one of those things. I'm kind of saying this, and I'll send you the details of this or tell you what you have the core rulebook for this, right?
Yeah, somewhere.
So
not open right.
It's pages. Well, before you get it's 139, 140. We can talk about this later. It's just you can kind of be doing this if you want to. For your spotlight, you get to either replace a talent, so you don't gain a new talent, but you get to replace a talent. You can do the same thing where you reduce a number and raise another number with your attributes rather than your abilities. Or you can improve the ship with a spotlight talent.
Yeah, improve the ship.
All right. Would you like to... Let me look at the ship real quick. I assume that you might want to improve its con. Is that correct?
Is it like giving it better? Is it improving the ship's stats, or is it improving like a specific like function it does?
Well, what you're actually doing is you're just moving points around.
So I'm like taking something from somewhere else and like
Exactly.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm good.
You can just bank all of this.
Yeah, I'll just bank it for now. I mean, I'm not like obviously not. Some of my stats aren't great, but like
then I'll tell you what you'll do.
What?
Mark that you've received a milestone, because when you receive when you have 2 spotlight milestones like this, you get an arc milestone where you actually get to increase your stats.
Okay.
So yeah, so just mark that you have one, and we can maybe do something with it later. But well done, way to go, fun times. All right, well, cool. Well, hi, Lauren. How's your day? Normal and fine?
Totally super. Totally
Beautiful.
great.
All right, well, let's do some shenanigans for another game. And I'm very excited about this one because I'm really happy to
That
have...
does not bode well for us.
I'm really happy to have the 2 of you here. So as we get prepared for our second of these sort of mini episodes, and I think you should be Vale in this one. You guys can just be your own characters. I might have you. So just so you know, I'm not even sure I said this, Dan. So you're going to be Senec, but you're also going to be rolling for other people in this next game.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of like, what would this person do? What would this person do? It's kind of a, these are more whatever. But
yeah,
as a baseline, let's both be your characters. So we'll begin. That was a weird shot. Maybe it's more of a like bum bada bum. Anyway, as the teaser opens, the vessel will sort of some kind of captain's log will explain that Maxwell says that this ship has been recalled to Earth because for a priority 1 security measure. or priority 1 security thing. Where would you guys like to be hanging out? Or you guys want to be on the bridge? You want to be chatting off duty? You want to be in the bridge? Where could you like to start today's game?
I feel like Senec doesn't. Well, I will be attempting to chat with Senec off duty.
Senec,
I'm not going to assume anything. However, I've noticed he's not one for small talk.
I am completely willing to entertain any conversation.
All right. Then let's have you guys in the be in the museum. You want to be in the convention center. You want to be in what? You want to be in the. Ooh, let's have you in the fancy galley. This ship has the deluxe galley feature from the Utopia Planitia thing. So we'll say that you guys are just like dining really well. And we can introduce another one of our stupid goblin holographic crew, because that's another one of the talents this ship has. So Chef Rufa, he will sort of, she will sort of bring over a couple of platters to, let's throw one other senior staff in with you guys. Roll me a, who else could there be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll me a D8, Lauren, if you would.
Okay. 7.
7. Ha! Grim is with you guys.
Yay!
So Grim is Grim, Vale, Senec are dining. Chef Rufa, kind of comes with the waitstaff, the goblin waitstaff, and says,
Good evening. I hope you will enjoy what I have prepared for you tonight. For Madame and Monsieur, I have the specialities of the house, which are Andorian pheasant in a cream sauce with red vegetables.
And kind of cloches are revealed, and a very fancy looking meal is there, very well put together, etc., etc.
And for Monsieur, I have brought you a goblin delicacy.
And he's like,
That's preposterous. Goblins don't exist except for me and all you fake ones. Well, nevertheless, using...
And then she begins to speak to him in the goblin language he made up. And he's like,
That's the wrong gerund. Oh, I'm sorry. The guidebook for it was a little confusing.
well, I didn't have time to write it. Okay, whatever. But she will then present him a fish head soup. He just looks at it and is like,
Damn, but that looks amazing. All right.
and so yes, he'll have that. So go ahead and do little opening RP scene. Go ahead.
Grim, do you eat the bullfish or just the head?
You can eat the rest of the fish.
Yes. It's more meaty on the rest of it.
But there's not eyes.
Wow.
So Vale, apparently you wanted to talk to Senec.
I did. Oh, just what do you think of the new ship? It's very nice.
It is pristine. That is true.
Really big.
Yes, it lacks a certain maneuverability that
I agree. How do you like your new quarters?
they're quite comfortable. Are yours the same?
They are. Lots of space. Lots more space than I had before, which is really nice.
Plus hollow
Do you-
leaders.
Yes.
Do you
In
require
every room, right? Okay.
Not the whole crew, but yeah, you guys.
do you require a higher amount of space than the average crew member?
Oh, no, not necessarily. I actually am having a very difficult time filling the space. It is quite echoey, and that I don't like in my living quarters. They're just too big. Honestly, if I'm honest, it's too big. The ship is too big. My living quarters are too big. I've been living on moderately sized ships with a moderately sized quarters for so long that larger living quarters just, I don't know what to do with them.
Of course, we have served in Starfleet for many years, living in relatively standard.
Well, you can always, you can always go down to the lower decks and sleep on the unenlisted crew bunk.
Perhaps
Well-
you could spend some time. You could sleep with next to Grim in the Jeffries tubes.
Oh, no, thank you.
No thanks.
Excellent suggestions, but I will not be doing that.
Pass. Anyway, why do you guys think we're going to Earth?
And to that point, this will be a difficulty 0 for one of you to ponder this question of why you are going to Earth. This is, I'm going to make this an insight security roll. So whichever one of you has the higher may attempt that.
That'd be an 11.
Okay.
What's yours, Vale? Insight plus security.
It is, oh, it's a 12.
All right, so go ahead and roll. This is just to give you guys a little bit of little of the momentum.
I got a 4.
A 4?
I did not do good. Yeah.
1 4?
Oh, wait, I forgot. You rolled 2. A 4 and a 14. I'm doing great.
So you have
today.
1 momentum to add to the hopper.
Yes.
There we
Thank
go. So as you but with that one success, this was one where I guess actually if you want to immediately spend this is a thing where there is graduated degrees, but if you just want to hold this for later and have a rough idea, probably because you're about to find out, you know. Yeah. You can and Vale, you say it has to have something to do with like the attacks that happened on the Utopia Planitia shipyard, you know, when the ships were being made.
And that is one thing that I'm excited about this ship doing, is actually exploring things instead of just hosting, you know, dignitaries and diplomats.
We're not exploring anything. We're just hosting more important diplomatic matters rather than just fancy political ones.
Yes.
Maybe
But
you should,
now we're going to
maybe you should go on the
investigate.
Borneo. That's the ship we were on for 5 minutes. Me and the captain.
Well, it's a very nice ship, but I do love the crew here, so I will be staying with the Noteworthy.
He's picking his teeth with the tooth of a fish.
Ugh.
But with that, we will say that the captain will ask for the two of you to meet her. Oh no, actually, it's so good it's Grim. It always should have been Grim. She's going to ask Grim, Senec, and Vale to come meet her in the transporter room.
Very well.
You guys see, and what's just like he's just like so wide. He's just like a wide guy, you know. He's just so built. Basically,
He's got Lego Man proportions.
Whitney's there,
Where
just
he's
like yeah, just,
yeah. Like Brock Lesnar, same proportions as Brock Lesnar, but just shorter.
How tall's Brock Lesnar? This guy's like 6'3".
Like he's like 6'4".
All right, yeah. But I don't think he's that. He doesn't have that mass. He's like
Brock Lesnar he's 6'3" and 286 pounds.
yeah. This guy's not 286.
No. Like a lean Brock Lesnar.
This guy's like, he's just but he's very wide. Really, it's anyway. So basically, he's just there, sort of arms crossed, looking intense.
Yeah.
But the captain sort of is there, and will mention. All right. Well, sorry for asking you to come directly here. To whoever's the transporter chief, she'll say, "Would you excuse us?" And the transporter chief leaves. And she says, "We actually have orders to transport a prisoner."
Oh, that is
Very well.
unexpected.
Well,
Do we have any information?
we do, and apparently this prisoner who's being transferred to Hey, if Kern's in chat, right?
He said hi earlier.
If
I
you
don't
know
if he
if
said
you know the name of like a scary Federation prison out somewhere, please let me know that.
Alcatraz.
That's where they're heading, not on Earth. They're taking them from Earth to somewhere. But but basically,
Station 12. That sounds terrifying.
it seems okay to me. But basically, yes. There is a sort of degree to which she's saying, like, well, we've been requested for this mission because the prisoner in question is apparently only willing to speak to us.
When you say us, Captain, do you mean
Specifically,
anyone serving on the ship, or
I think by definition of how she phrased it, the three of you. And
Is it
then
someone that we know?
suddenly, on the transporter pad is in like manacles and with a beeping headband, a telepathy suppressing headband around her head, is Penelope Bonaventura. And that, my friends, is not an act break, but a bum space. Bum the final frontier. Bum 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 bum.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit.
Okay. And
No, you have to do it faster. I didn't skip it.
sorry, so I had skipped. Looking Spaceballs when they fast forward the movie.
Okay. Honestly, though, in this day and age, you can't okay, whatever. Act break, black screen.
Forward, it just doesn't have the sound.
Yeah, but also you can't. But no, like whatever. You swipe. What you do is you pause and swipe to where you want to go.
Yeah.
Or actually, or it would be 10 seconds.
I'm watching on my TV, so I'm not like I'll fast forward. I'm not gonna. My TV's not a touch screen.
It's fine.
I fast forward. But sometimes I don't want to skip because I want to see like who directed or like who the guest star is.
I just bend back 10 seconds if necessary. Anyway, it's Penelope.
Boo.
Telepathic inhibitor. At this point, we reveal this session's episode, or this episode's title, which is The Prisoner.
What is Penelope's last name?
Bonaventura.
Oh.
So. And this is and now what they're doing is the scary sound that they play on like Next Generation, where it's like a bum 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 bum, but like the tension music. That's what I've got. All right, cool. So
Apparently, Cold Station 12. I don't know if you saw that, Philip.
Oh, that's an Enterprise episode.
That's why I don't know it.
Read by Starfleet Medical. You know what? Yeah, because she's telepathic, let's run with it. They're going to Cold Station 12. So basically, she's in the break. So we'll cut to you, Whitney, and the three of you sort of standing there. And she's saying, this woman has apparently, she'll say, according to sort of Starfleet security, Bonaventura refused to tell us anything about the aliens, but as I'm sure you remember from the multiple debriefs, you all claimed that this was the same ship, or the same class of ship that you saw in the nebula when we were all tricked into thinking there was some captain or some admiral with us.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there any...
Which means...
Can Penelope hear us?
We'll say you guys are outside of it. That's fine.
Is there any information that they are hoping that we're able to obtain?
Any information at all. She's made the claim she will only talk to those who were aboard the shuttle when they last saw her ship.
course. Well,
Then let us see what she wants.
All right. So, Senec, Vale, Grim, and like Whitney's kind of like nearby. But you guys walk in, and she's just kind of. So what basically follows is a sort of first creepy Hannibal Lecter-y scene. So what I'd like to do for this is to have Senec and Vale both make. You're each going to make one roll depending on what it is your approach or goal for this scene might be. And Grim, and because Grim's present, he will provide assistance on whichever role it makes more sense for him to do. So don't worry about the stats. How do you want to talk to? Like, what would your approach be?
I would try to build rapport.
Okay, great. What about you, Senec?
As the conversation goes, I'm like just trying to figure out like what her motives are, like why she's here, what she wants with us specifically.
Perfect. Okay, so Senec, you're going to be focused on trying to determine what it is she's hiding, what her game is, what she's, anything like that. Whereas Vale, you're simply working on trying to connect with her. So for that, Vale, that is going to be a presence. And I will let you use your medicine for it because you are, you're a trained therapist. But I don't think this is going to be psychology or anthropology or any of those things. So it is a 14, but you don't.
I will say, though, building rapport is an important aspect of psychology.
I think that is true.
I'm just building a case because it is actually necessary in order to properly communicate with your patient or the person with whom you are trying to get information from.
That is true, but I'm going to say because typically I think psychology is when you're making a psychological analysis of someone. So I will let you use psychology, but I will then increase the complication range because it means because you're trying to do it from the psychologist's perspective, she might see through it more easily.
Okay.
So it's going to increase your complication range.
Okay.
It can increase by 2 to 18.
Okay.
Okay. So you can roll. We'll say it's difficulty 1, but the more success, the better. You're going to roll a presence plus science, but don't roll it yet. And you roll 2 d20s, or you could buy a third with your measly 1 momentum. Senec, you are going to make an insight. I think plus security to see the threat. No, we'll let you do command. It's fine.
Right.
Insight plus command, so it's a 13.
2 successes.
2 successes. Do you want to try to use both in bolster, or do you want to put one in the hopper?
We'll use both in bolster.
Okay. And
Bolster, baby.
Vale, go ahead and make your roll.
Okay. I got a 12 and a 13.
Those are both successes, right?
It's 14. Wait, I have to do under?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We use too many systems.
It's
I
fine.
get confused.
No,
Yes, both successes.
This is you roll d20s, you try to roll under them. The higher your numbers are, the bigger the number you get to roll under.
Yes.
All right. So 2 successes. Are you going to spend both, or do you want to put one into here?
I will spend both.
Okay. So basically, and Grim was going to assist. I think Grim will assist Senec with his security plus insight. Hold on 1 second, because that might be just one extra success for you. Probably not, because he doesn't succeed at either one. His security is high, his insight not so much. Basically, over the course of this act, Quincy develops some rapport with her. And she reveals, kind of without... She wants you guys to take her inhibitor off. She says it's giving her a headache. You guys are like, absolutely no way. But she will reveal, kind of like, because of the connection that you draw, Vale, that she will tell you the name of the alien. the name of the people in those ships. They are the Lampevir. Lampevir. And she'll sort of say that the Lampevir sort of helped her unlock her innate telepathic abilities. Senek, with your insight, you and he didn't give you one, so we'll sort of boost your insight. You can tell that she feels still completely in control of the situation. She feels like Quincy's working for it enough, so she gave her a little bit of info, but she seems to be you know that like any cooperation she's doing, she probably still thinks she's going to get out of this. She thinks the Lampevir will help her, whatever, this kind of stuff. Okay. At the end of Act 1, however, at the end of Act 1, she's going to kind of dig in hard and say, but I'm not saying another word until you let me take this off. I want to see if and then she'll say to Senek, what's the problem? You can't see the things I do, remember? There's no danger at all.
We also have not confirmed the entirety of what you can do, so there is no reason to put ourselves at an unknown risk.
You just said that the Lampevir helped you unlock your abilities, which means that they may have also developed. I hope that you understand our reservations when it comes to taking that off.
I've been locked up since then, but if you won't take it off, it's fine. But I'm said all I'm going to say. Go ahead and lock me in cold storage. And with that, act break. Act. I'm going to now do, because I think it's sort of a fine thing, we'll say, I'm going to do a scene with, I think that Senek will not be called in for this scene. So, Dan, I may ask you to make some decisions on the part of, or some roles for Commander Whitney, potentially. But this is going to sort of be just like the three senior officers here are going to be Vale, Whitney, and the captain. So Vale, as you sort of, downloaded the captain, the captain and Whitney, there's a clear sense from both of them that, like, I don't know. I know that Whitney's not a known thing, but Dan, do you think Whitney, do you think he wants the answers more, or do you think he just wants her locked up more? Like, Whitney's a guy who, like, veteran of the Dominion War, probably veteran of other fights before that, like, super, like, militarily minded person, very kind of just like order stuff. Do you think he's someone who's like, we've got to keep trying for information, or do you think he's just like forget her, throw her in the cold, we'll figure it out on our own?
If he knows she's a threat, and I think like he would be like, well, we can. If he knows she's a threat, then like we can keep her locked up and figure out other ways to get what we want out of her than just letting her out now.
Very good. I'll even and yes and that to be like, or we'll find it somewhere else. We don't negotiate with her or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll say that the captain is a bit more potentially open to trying to negotiate with her, as that's her whole thing. She's all about diplomacy. So
Right.
Vale, as you've sort of kind of like they've made some points, do you have what are your thoughts?
And our ultimate goal is to get more information, right?
A very reasonable question, by the way. Starfleet wants basically she is being taken to Cold Station 12 for, to get her away from Earth where she can cause serious mischief. But they do need more. I mean, you've already given them a name to search, and I'm sure that's already been like Whitney's already run that up the thing, and they're already looking through. But they would love any information you can get, because you know nothing about those aliens who came. You know nothing about that crazy technology, any of this stuff.
Okay, so I will say that I do think that the only way that we're going to get any more information is if she is able to remove her device. Is there any way that we would be able to contain her within one of the holosuites? And I could work with her, you guys could monitor to make sure that what I'm seeing is what is happening.
Last time, Grace
It was ship-wide.
It was ship-wide. But once she was gone from the ship, we couldn't feel it anymore. I suppose what we could do, she could already tell, Whitney's just we could put her and a small number of crew. Obviously, Senek would be involved, but I've actually asked the doctor to look into basically the reverse device of what she's wearing for other people. Something that could be worn to prevent the telepathic incursions.
Interesting.
At which point we could put her on a ship without the telepathy, and we could put her on the footnote, and then...
Would it be discreet enough to hide from her, or is this a device that is very obvious?
That's a question for the doctor.
Is the doctor a goblin too? I forget.
No, the doctor is an Orion named Tatum.
Oh, that's right.
Death.
Oh.
Yeah, Vale asks if the device would be obvious. We'll do a cut to Tata. Tell you what, you proposed it. Roll for Tata doing a medicine. You know what? This is probably not right. I'm going to say it's medicine and presence because it's about hiding. It's about, that thing. So it's a 14 you'd need to hit. So roll 2d20s.
Okay. What's the difficulty?
You know what? Let's make it fun. Difficulty will be 2.
Uh-huh.
And you'll need to hit a 14. You've already rolled it.
I already rolled. Sorry, it was 2 10s.
You're not supposed to roll until I tell you the difficulty.
I'm sorry, because you said it and then you went, and I let it go, and then you went, you know what? That was your fault. Be more decisive.
That's my fault? Okay.
Yeah, Philip. Come on.
Oh my god. With 2 successes, she's like, yeah, I can actually give you an injection with a hyperspray for these.
Oh.
I'll have to then remove them, but basically it just cuts to you guys in the thing, and she's like, yeah, I think I can do this. It's basically what we're just doing is we're inhibiting most of the sort of the wavelengths that telepathic frequencies operate on. Why are we doing this anyway? When he's like, you don't need to know that, and there's weird sexual tension there. Point being,
classified. What is going on between you two?
And Whitney just gives you this look of whatever, and Tata just drinks grog. What's up with her and Whitney? He glares, she drinks. Classy. The captain says, I do think that a limited crew in an external craft traveling next to us en route to Cold Station 12 might be a logical way to attempt to get some information. We need to decide who we'll put in there with her, who are going to be the least likely to potentially, fall prey to what she did last time. she's like, I'd rather be leading this than, than if you're gonna do this, yes, I'd rather be present for it. So basically, I don't know, what's the minimum number you want to send as few people as possible. You want to make sure the situation's in hand. Grim and Senek have shown, if not resistance, then some awareness or lack of awareness. Both of them could tell something was up one way or another when she did these things. Whitney says he could go. Who should go?
Well, I think 3 would be
Just the 3 of them?
sufficient. Well, me, Senek, and Whitney.
Not Grim.
Mm,
Grim took her out last time, according to your
that
report.
is true. But he may put her on high alert.
Tata will probably, Whitney says Tata's not sure that the implant would work as well on Grim. His brain chemistry is different. Fine. So it's going to be Whitney, Senek, and Vale.
Yes.
Do you want to take the footnote or the end note?
But no.
Is there a difference between any of the specs on
Oh.
them?
No. Footnote?
I don't care.
So in that case, Act 2 will end with... And then, as this ship's about to enter warp, then this ship gets ready to enter warp. And then, because see, now the red's at the front of it instead of the blue, and then they both enter warp. And with a little, kind of with this one having some distance. So Senek, you're at the controls. Whitney sort of standing there looking grumbly. Vale, you're there. And he gives you a nod. And Vale, you can remove the headpiece from her.
I do.
Bonaventura's inhibitor. She'll say, "Ah, nice. I can finally hear myself think." Act break.
Sorry, I'm like
Act
so
3.
out of it.
What?
These act breaks are short. It's Netflix
I
style.
know.
So stop saying
said-
embarrassing things about yourself.
I
when we
didn't.
cut.
I was gonna say I'm sorry. I'm so out of it. It is so hot.
It's pretty
I
hot.
can't believe you did that aloud, Lord. Wow.
No,
That's one of the most
shut up.
offensive things.
It's 83 degrees. We didn't have our AC on, and my brain is melting.
Don't listen to me. Okay, first of all, that is so offensive to people who are actually out of it, that you're joking about being out of it.
Leave me alone.
Oh, it's offensive to people who are actually melting, too.
On behalf of all witches who've been splashed with water by girls from Kansas,
You're canceled.
you're
I know.
officially canceled. But you, Dan, for pointing that out, you're renewed. Anywho, Act 3. Dum bum 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 bada bum 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 bum. Bonaventura kind of stretches and says, "I guess there's no chance you'll let me out of the manacles, huh?
Absolutely not.
You really think I can take this guy?" She points to Whitney. He's just like, he looks fucking muscular.
Penelope, we just don't want any trouble whatsoever.
You think I can take out the Vulcan? They're 3 times as strong as a human.
Well, one thing we're not going to do is underestimate you.
That's smart.
You said that you would be able to give us more information if we took that off.
I don't know where they came from, but they showed up, and I've never experienced a connection with anyone. Any human, any alien, anything. They're very, they have some good ideas about the way things should be.
Uh-oh. Like what?
It's not a sexual thing. I can see the Vulcans already giggling up there.
Oh no.
This is out of character giggling.
No, but she's basically like, no, think the Federation's a problem. They think it's trying to impose a certain approach to the world. But its prime directive is a fallacy. At its core.
What type of fallacy?
By observing these other cultures, by staying out of them, you're involved. These civilizations were not in a vacuum. The whole galaxy, it's all part of the same organism, you know. Just because you say we don't want the hand, it's like saying we don't want the hand to mess with what the knee's doing until the knee's ready to cooperate with the hand.
That logic seems very flawed to me.
Well, the Lampavir have been around a little longer than we have. So, I think their logic holds up in the time. Listen, I don't want people to get hurt. And when I was going back to them, no one was supposed to get hurt. It was just you, Senek. If it wasn't for you, I'd have been there. Everyone would have been fine. Would have forgot about the Admiral.
Yes, and no one got hurt the second time we encountered one of their ships.
She kind of gives you this like cold look and says, "They haven't told me much about what happened, what they do. How many people died?"
That's not the issue here.
It doesn't matter how many people died. People died. Federation officers.
Good people.
Good people died.
But so she's just kind of like, she's kind of asking, and she says, "I can't tell you more until I understand what you know. How many people died? Was it thousands?
Why is the number of deaths important?
I mean, I just want to see how much restraint they were operating under.
Well, we can
I
proceed
feel like
with
I
the
would know if it
understanding-
was. I think I would know if it was they killed millions. They didn't kill millions, did they?
We can proceed with the understanding that they have the potential to do that.
She just gives you this like, yeah. And then, you notice her kind of like, there's a bit of a like, kind of vibe, but she sort of pauses as,
What's wrong?
nothing. Just what I expected. Senek, I enjoyed talking to you when I was on the ship. I know things were kind of complicated there on account of the whole trick I was doing, but
Have you reconnected with them telepathically just now?
from here? Oh no, it's not that. I just you've all got a little something, huh? Something you're not. Something stopping something, huh? I get it. That's what I would have done. I'm just surprised I don't see you wearing headbands or something.
Does that bother you?
Well, no. I wasn't trying to mess with anybody's brains. I was just trying to, have my own mind feel a little bit more freed up.
Well, that's why we took off the device. That does not include your ability to manipulate other people's minds.
Yeah, that's why we're all alone on this ship. Just us. Wouldn't it be crazy if a Lampavir cruiser just popped up and scooped us up because we're just all alone? Just us on this tiny little ship?
Are you currently in communication with them?
Like right now? No, currently I'm in communication with you, and then sort of him, and then not really him, because he's not saying much. When he's like, But if we're not gonna...
I would say that I do recommend that you tell us everything you can now. I would imagine that wherever we deposit you, you will end up talking to people who are not quite as
Understanding.
Well, that doesn't.
pleasant.
Is
I would
that
say pleasant.
is that how the Federation does it? They're going to torture me. They're going to coerce me.
Wait. How much do we know about like Section 31 and shit like that?
You
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
You never heard of it?
Okay. All right. Well, all right then. All right, never mind then. Nah, damn. Can't threaten her with a good time then.
Yeah.
Well, I will let you know that they will not allow you to remove a device that suppresses your abilities.
I know. It's nice to be able to talk like this. What else do you want to know? I've told you. You're not giving me the context so I can help answer your questions. Which one of their weapons did they use? What did it do?
Remember.
I'll tell you what happened.
I'll explain to her what they did.
Oh, I'll tell you what that is. That's the sign of good faith, right? It's called a warp beam. What they were doing is they were just bending space in on itself. Rather than shooting you with phasers, they just warp reality and move objects closer together. It's pretty advanced.
Have you ever seen this technology in front of yourself, disassembled?
That technology? No, not disassembled.
Penelope, did they send you? Did they send you to get captured to deliver the Federation a message?
Wait, are you asking if they planned for me to get captured?
It just seems like you have a lot of very specific things that you're trying to tell me that will be given to the Federation.
Well,
So if they have a message, you can go ahead and tell me.
I think their only message is just get ready.
Is that a threat, Penelope?
I'm not even sure that's their message. That's just my assumption. But, I mean, based on what limited information I have, because you won't tell me everything, might be a threat.
If it seems like the conversation isn't going anywhere, I'm just going to do the thing.
You're going to mind meld her?
Yeah.
I love it. All right. So, you're going to mind meld this person. Okay.
She's a Betazoid, right?
No.
She's human.
She's a human, but she's a telepathic.
Oh.
Okay. There is one momentum you could spend here. Does it say what the things are for mind melds? Hold on.
Nope.
Yeah. Huh. Well, let me go. Sorry, 1 second. Mind meld doesn't even say in the thing. Everyone at home, please, just bear with us as we look through things.
I'm gonna go to McDonald's after this to get the boo buckets.
Oh, those are so fun, and they'll smell like chicken nuggets for all of time.
What's an ucket?
The boob bucket? I see what you did, cause boob.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. So I'm just looking this up. Actually, this is a super obscure thing. Kern, if you're there and you know what a mind meld's supposed to be, because it's not in the thing.
I think it should be like control and command.
Maybe control and medicine, even, or
Command.
No, definitely control and command. Maybe even control and con, I would say.
Yeah.
Or like reason.
Oh, I see what he's doing. Huh.
I mean,
Okay. So, I'm gonna say, as you attempt your mind meld, you can do control. And command.
Kern, if you're doing a mind meld, what would you roll for it?
It's in. Sorry, yeah. In the core rulebook, it just says that it's always a task with a difficulty of at least 1, and it can be opposed, but it doesn't say the ability or the attribute or discipline to use. So I do think it really does serve you in this moment. That it probably is control and command.
All right, sick. I will spend a
Oh,
moment.
unless it's reason.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, reason's even better, or insight even. I don't know. It's funny. Every attribute except for fitness can kind of work for me for that.
Yeah.
So I maybe just wait 2 more seconds for Kern 3 to reply to this. You know what? Also, this act has had a lot of stuff in it, and like tense chatting and stuff. With them now. I'm gonna say that we're gonna act break, so that'll be in Act 4.
Act break.
Act break. All right,
We're back. You guys, you do
wow!
not believe what Lauren just
Holy
said.
shit!
I didn't say anything.
I mean, and that's the problem, is that to you it feels like nothing, and to us it was so much.
It was really bad. Yeah, Kern, and I know that Kern. I know this is kind of a weird. This is a weird and specific question, so certainly no worries about. Reason or insight plus medicine is what you would say. Okay.
Ooh, I call it medicine.
Reason or insight. I get the idea of it being a medicine thing.
I'm going to do reason and medicine. That seems reasonable to me.
But insight and medicine does not. Tell you what, we'll do reason and medicine.
All right.
You can get 1 here if you want.
I will.
Okay, so you're gonna roll 3. I might spend a little bit of threat. Oh, we'll see. Let's see if I do.
Smooch of the dice real quick for a little extra luck. Okay, a 2, a 10, and a 17. So,
2 successes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Your thoughts to my thoughts.
Your thoughts to her thoughts. Let me read how this thing works. Okay,
Or share. Honestly, you got to be careful when you're sharing thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Just wear protection at all times.
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. We will... Oof. I'm going to retcon this slightly. I'm going to do one more act break here, because we're going to say that Senec mind melded with her at the end of 3. That's better. I'm sorry, I was wrong. So, okay, now we're into 4. Guess how many successes I had for her.
This is one of the episodes would be like, wow, the editing was really weird on this episode.
Yeah, like, wait, why did... Okay. This isn't really how this works, but it's fun. I'm gonna do it. I already spent threat and I don't care.
Make it up.
I don't like.
Fine.
Oh, insights used for telepathy things? Well, that would have been even worse for you. Okay, so, you attempt the mind meld as you begin my thoughts to your thoughts. Vale, you see her open her eyes for a moment, and she just winks at you real quick. At this point, Senec.
Is it too late for me to say anything? Like, it happens too fast?
I think
or...
so.
Oh, fuck.
So, Senec, as you mind meld, you find yourself standing in a white void, and there's a Federation Admiral standing across from you.
Mm-hmm.
Officer, you can see me? Can you see me?
Yes.
What? Who? What? Oh, thank God, Commander. He's like rushing to you as this like middle-aged human man.
Who are you?
Thank God. I'm Paulson. I'm Admiral Paulson.
There is no Admiral Paulson.
What do you mean? Who are you?
We are currently inside a mental bridge between my mind and someone else's, and you are not that other person.
I don't understand. I've been here for several months. I don't know. One night, I was giving some speech, and the next thing I do, I've just seen here. I've been here for months, years. I'm not sure.
Well, there are at least two realities I can think of. One, that you are a buffer created between myself and the person whose mind I'm trying to enter. The other is that you're actually a prisoner who has been trapped inside a person's mind, and all record of whom has been erased. So I assume surely you can understand how one of those seems more logical than the other.
Neither of them seems logical. You're talking about people's minds stuck in... I'm confused. Am I dead? What's happening to me?
Okay, can I you know what a mind meld's like?
Mm-hmm.
Am I getting weird vibes at all? Like, am I like...
As you sort of like begin to like step out of it, you suddenly realize you're just here. You don't feel any connection to like, you don't feel a mind melding process.
What do you mean? Like, can I return to my, leave the mind melt, leave the...
You can't return to your body, you're in your body. You suddenly feel like you're there. Yeah.
Fascinating. And we're just like a white void?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else there?
Make a... Oh, there's not really. Yeah, you can just look around. You can see like larger darkness shapes, kind of like lighter grays and areas in the distance, but for the most part, it's just a white void. Are you stuck in here with me? What's happening? It's been so long since I've seen anyone else.
It would appear that I am trapped here. Well, I wonder what is happening to my body outside. Very well.
Your body? What do you... He grabs you. Your body's right here. You feel his hand on your hand. I feel you're here. Damn it.
Yes, what I would imagine happening is my consciousness has been transported somewhere that is similar to being on a holodeck.
And I'm trapped here too.
That is possible. But there's nothing immediately around us, so we should attempt to search out the boundaries of this space.
All right. Well, very well. All right, Commander. What is your name?
I am Lieutenant Commander Senek.
Senek. I'm Admiral Paulson. This way, please. Or which way? I think there's a little more definition over there, but those seem closer. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, can I look? Does one way seem like there's more
Make a reason and command roll. That's pretty darn high for you. Oh no, actually, reason and science. Just kidding.
Reason and
but
science.
Reasons. Oh, science is a 1. And I was gonna give you metaphysics on this.
I mean, either way. I mean, I rolled a 2 and a 7, so.
Okay. Well, we'll give you 2 successes on that.
Right.
Do you want to bank 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think that going to the closer one is probably the better option, just because.
Yeah. All right. So we'll start going that way.
There's no way to tell the distance. As you approach them, you discover an Excelsior-class starship seems to be like kind of sitting through this like whitish like mist, and he's just looking at it like, I don't believe it.
Can I tell what ship it is? Like, is there any designation on it?
I'll say at this angle, it's kind of like big, so it's kind of hard to see like from the top. But it looks like it's a ship called Landfall. Also a Magic the Gathering keyword.
Damn straight, yeah. If I like, I mean, do I know it? Is this an actual ship that I am familiar with at all, or?
I think this is a vessel that is moderately notable, so I'll say you can certainly just kind of be vaguely aware. But Admiral Paulson will say, that was my first command.
Perhaps there are clues on here. Can we find a way?
Try to get ourselves aboard. So as the two of you sort of try to like get aboard the ship, you are in kind of that metaphysical way. You do find yourselves, like suddenly, like like once you get to it, you find yourselves like being beamed aboard.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't need to, like, I don't know if you want to, like, are trying to, like, role play this all out, but yeah, like, I'm just looking around, like, exploring various things, like.
Very well. In that case, give me a, I assume you're going to be very here's how we'll do it. If you want to be extremely reasonable and methodical in your approach to this, it's going to take extra time. If you'd rather be daring in your approach, either way, you'll get to add command to it. If you go reasonable, there's going to be a much larger complication range because you're taking more time, more things might happen. So what do you want to do? It's basically an 11 or a 16, because your daring and reason could not be more far apart. Like literally can't be. That's the maximum minimums for those values. So which do you want to do? Do you want to do reason with a broader complication range, or do you want to do daring with limited complications? You have 1 momentum to spend.
I'll do daring and I'll spend the momentum.
All right, so this is a situation where get 1 success and you'll gain some info, but the more successes you get, go. So you're looking for 11s or lower, rolling 3 dice.
5, 7, and 19.
5, 7, and 19. Good thing we didn't lower that complication, because hey now. But with 2 successes, do you want to spend them both or put 1 back in?
Spend them both.
Cool. With spending them both, you begin, so basically a quickly kind of like analyzing the ship, you pretty quickly realize you should go to like the captain's quarters. In the captain's quarters, it does seem like everything has been decorated, and he's like recognizing this vessel the way it had been. And he says, "Yes, I remember. I remember I was here, but wait, what?" And then suddenly, kind of like outside the walls, it's just white light, But then suddenly, it's like darkness, also, shoot, I have an Excelsior class. I can't believe I didn't pull this up. Damn it, it's in the other room. I'm not gonna get it. We're running out of time. The point being, suddenly it's space outside and the ship is under attack.
What kind of enemy? I mean, like, I guess we got to go to the bridge. So the ship is. I assume if we die in the Matrix, we die in real life. So
for this beat, however, what you'll sort of do is, as you sort of are like, I mean, you're in the captain's ready room, so the bridge is right next to it. So we'll say that as you're looking out the windows, as you see space, you see Lampavir vessels encircling the ship. And on that note, act break.
I am
Act 5. Sorry, I hit it before. I know you were in the middle of saying something. But unlike Lauren, it wasn't offensive.
Yeah, very not offensive.
Anywho, the Lampavir are attacking the ship. As you rush on the bridge, you see a younger Admiral Paulson. Basically like in the process of like, what the hell is happening? You report, and the Admiral Paulson with you, the older one, is walking around saying, it's my old crew. I remember. He's calling about, Jorgensen, old Polly, like all these weird names for everybody. But he's looking, and yes, you see Lampavir vessels are like it's like we're caught in some kind of beam, Captain, as the ship's like spiraling around. You guys are grabbing onto stuff, but it's crazy.
When he's calling people's names out, are they like responding to?
No,
him?
they don't. No one seems to see you.
I mean, can we interact with things or?
You can touch things, but it seems like.
Not
tell you what, Senek. This will be reason plus medicine to see if you can tell what's going on.
5 and 16, so 1 success.
1 success. I'll say I should have said it was also, always assume it's a difficulty 1 unless I say otherwise. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yes, for that, I will say because of who you are and the fact that you can mind meld, you believe that you are looking at a memory. So like they can't see you. You believe that you're like witnessing a memory. But then suddenly, if you share that information with him, Paulson will say, I don't remember any of this. I've never seen a ship like that before. And then the younger Paulson suddenly starts going, and like a weird like energy beam goes into the bridge, and he starts slightly hovering. Dan's frozen. Oh no! If he disappears,
Cut to me.
This is cool. Cut to Vale. Well, I'll still describe what is happening here in the moment before Senek can do whatever. Senek knows it's a memory. Paulson doesn't remember this. Then young Paulson starts floating in a weird energy beam. All right, he said internet picked a bad time to drop. It's also, there we go. Okay. Oh, gotta switch to a different kind of thing. Do. Oh wow, I'm actually not gonna do it because I think he's gonna be back. So we will cut out to Counselor Vale. And
I know that I can't break a mind. He's still holding the mind meld, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know I can't break it.
You do know that.
Without causing damage. Okay. And does Penelope look like she's like focused? Like, would she?
Her eyes are kind of closed.
Okay, can I? I'm gonna try to like make eye contact with Whitney to let him know discreetly that something's going on. Can I, like?
Yeah, you can just. Yeah, that's fine.
If her eyes are closed, I'm gonna be like.
I don't like this at all.
Neither do I.
You want to talk to him quietly, like in another chamber? Are you gonna leave them alone in this room?
No, I'm trying to get.
What are you trying to convey? We'll say you can convey it. That's fine.
Can I like turn my comm on and off and on and off?
Sure. Like Morse code?
Yeah. I don't. Would they know Morse code?
Sure. But what are you saying to him? That she winked?
Just. I don't know. Hold on. Let me think.
I feel like you're very, very stressed. I apologize.
am.
We're only cutting to you because Dan's gone.
Yeah, I know. No, I would like to communicate to the Noteworthy that something has gone awry, but I also don't want them to. I can't get aggressive. My friend's in danger.
Understood.
Yeah, just but I don't. I also don't want them to disrupt the mind meld because that'll.
Okay, actually, then never mind. Don't do any of that then. Let's have you roll When in doubt, dice. Make a medicine and reason roll, but this is not.
Okay, what's it?
Difficulty of this was a 1, but this is, and this
Okay.
will not be any of your focuses.
I'm sorry, you said what in medicine?
Medicine and reasons was a 14 for you, so just roll two
Okay.
2d20s.
I got a 1 and a 15.
Okay, so it's 2 successes.
Yes.
But hello. It's 2 successes, but yeah. I'll cut back to that scene in a moment. So do you want to use them both now? Do you want to enhance it, or do you want to store one?
I'll enhance it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically, yeah, so rather than like doing this, you definitely know that the mind meld is a thing you don't want to break, or like you can't break. There's some serious psychological stuff, but you think that all the rules may be out the window because this woman is a telepathic savant who had the power to trick a whole ship.
Okay. So I get the sense that it may not actively be a mind meld after all.
It may be a mind meld, or it may be like a side meld or something, or like a wild meld.
Then I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna look at Whitney and say, and just shout, "What are they doing?" And just see Penelope responds.
You watch Penelope, and in response, and Penelope's supposed to be in this full mind meld, but in response, with his hand on her face, she cracks an eye and smirks at you.
You get him out of there. Penelope, whatever you're doing, you have to stop.
I'm trying to stop. I don't know what you're talking about. Meanwhile, Senek, what just happened was the young Paulson, like in the memory, was caught in this beam of energy, and he began to float. Like, and the older Paulson's like, I don't know this. I don't remember this. This never happened. What? No, I on the ship, nothing like this. We never saw those vessels. What the hell's going on? What's happening to me? He's freaking out.
I mean, the guy he's a younger version still just floating there?
Yeah. As the crew are like looking around helpless, and then like everything kind of like comes to like a stop.
Like the memory just freezes?
It's like freezes, yeah.
Perhaps you were a person who was abducted like that. Do you have memories from your life that happened after this?
Yes, of course, many. I continued serving for years, and then was promoted to admiral. You gotta believe me. But I don't remember this. How can I remember it? Why don't I remember what's happening? What is this place?
I mean, do I do a mind meld within the mind meld?
You're totally welcome to. If you suggest that, he'll say, even if you like broach the subject.
I'll suggest it, yeah.
Yes, fine, okay, yeah. Go ahead.
We're going full Inception here.
Meld with me, yes.
Oh boy.
So Senek, you'll offer to mind meld. Okay, so Senek, once again, I think, what did we call it last time? It was medicine and reason, I think we did.
Yeah.
Should be insight, but we'll stick with reason for you. So medicine, reason, there is no momentum available. You could buy an extra dice with threat. You only need one success.
All right, 7 and 13, so 2 successes.
2 successes. Do you want to
I will bank one, yeah.
bank one of those? Great. Oh, this is fun. Oh, this is so fun. This show's getting a little more serialized even than these things. Understood. So, with that, Senek, as you begin to mind meld with him, you enter his memories, and you begin to see all these memories of Paulson. And in Paulson's mind, you see his whole life. You see his, you see all of these, you see all of these kind of like wild moments of everything that he's sort of done and experienced. His, first time riding a horse, Pike style. His first, like his like asking a girl to the prom. Like racing a hover bike for the all these things. Like his whole career, his time aboard this ship. You also begin to uncover these memories of the Lampavir, and you come to a realization that it seems he was a real person who was erased from like records of Starfleet, and she was using him for this stuff. It's this complex web as you're diving into this.
Yeah.
And as you see all of these things, pulling back from that, unseen by you, in a black void, looking down on you experiencing these things, is Bonaventura, who says to herself, well, that'll keep him busy. And then, Vale, as you're watching, the mind meld ends. And she just kind of slumps back, and Senec pulls back and says, sorry, that was very overwhelming.
Senec, are you okay?
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm going to need a moment, Counselor. I'm sorry, her mind is complicated.
I think we should get back to the Noteworthy. I don't think that was a normal mind meld.
No, it was not. I barely got information. She was threatening me. I don't know what to do. And she just starts laughing like.
Penelope, do you have anything constructive to say here?
And Senec then says, put it back on. Put the band back on her head.
I will go to put the band back on. Oh gosh. I'm not metagaming at all here.
Of course.
Oh god, he's in her mind. He's in her mind. Is she in his?
And at that, as with Senec sort of trapped somewhere, we'll end with the ship. We'll end with a scene of Penelope. We'll end with a scene of Senec and Vale. And Whitney Senec, Vale, Whitney, and the captain, or actually captain wouldn't go. Senec, Vale, Whitney, are handing her off at Cold Station 12.
Okay.
And she just kind of looks back, kind of has this, she just like smirks at you one more time, kind of waves, and walks in. And Senec says, this is concerning. I should share what I've learned about the Lampavir with you, with the captain, with everyone.
We should also get a full workup on you, Senec.
Yes. I'm not feeling myself. As Whitney and Vale walk away, Senec smirks in a recognizable way. And then, I think we're past the to be continued era of every point, but that's the end.
Oh boy.
Hell yeah.
So, fun times. Oh, Senec, I was real excited you were just like, because I was hoping you'd say, let's mind meld in the thing. Because that was
it's gotta go deeper.
Yeah.
The only way out is through.
Yeah. That's fun.
That seems illogical to me.
Everything is a door if you try hard enough.
She rolled 4 successes. Is how many successes she rolled?
Everything is a dildo if you try hard enough to, and that's not advisable.
It's problematic statements like this that are gonna keep getting you canceled over and over again.
Oh,
This
really?
is
Really?
Discovery
Oh,
Channel,
really?
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, really? Is human rights a dildo? God, you monster. You actual monster. Oh, really? Oh, really? See, there's a bunch I could say that actually would just be too offensive because, so I won't. But I think it's a funny idea. So, with that, Thank you so much for some super not stressful ones. We had one nice little scenic one where he got to use his batleth and had to be illogical. There was fun stuff. And then Lauren showed up for the tense one.
Always.
I'm sorry.
You know? It's okay.
Well, that's fun. Well, so
I just want a nice, fluffy, literally and figuratively, Tribble episode. That's all I ask for.
do you want a Tribble episode that is a mini, or do you want a Tribble episode that is a main?
If it's just me in a mini, then I would like it to be a mini. But if not, then I would like it to be a regular one.
Copy
Please.
that.
But
Well,
yeah.
I will see what we can do. Well, very good. That was great. Thank you all so much for watching. Kern, thank you for some of those thoughts on the gameplay and stuff.
For
That was
your
super fun.
expertise.
So well done, everybody. That was super fun. Got another 2 of these out. I think we're all going to sign off for various to go live our lives.
I just can't keep listening to all these fucked up things Lauren's saying.
I know it's been a lot, and honestly, it's so hard when the counselor is the one saying the disturbing stuff.
Right. It's
In
like,
terms
I
of
really trust
upcoming games, with one exception. For the next little while here, it's nothing but Blood from a Stone. So basically, tomorrow night we'll have another session of Blood from a Stone in Merkshire. Then on Sunday we'll have a session of More Wretched Hive. These are always at 7:30. But then nothing on Monday. But then starting on Tuesday, for the 7 following days, we will have a Blood from a Stone every night at 7:30, except for Saturday, which will be in an afternoon time. It's going to be so fun. I'm super excited about these games. It's going to be, I know what the thread connecting. I used to always say, there'll be some thread. Now I know what it is. It's great. Or I hope it's great. So this should be super good. So come join us for all of that. Go to our About page to see the cool stuff our players get up to. Go to our Discord where we post all sorts of things that talk about Marvel and X-Men these days. That's been a big one. But that's kind of all I've got for the moment. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time.
Until literally tomorrow night.
3 to transport.